Multiple sclerosis, MS, is a chronic autoimmune disease that affects the central nervous system, CNS. It is characterized by inflammation, demyelination, and axonal damage in the brain, spinal cord, and optic nerves. MS is a progressive disease, meaning that symptoms worsen over time. The cause of MS is not yet fully understood, but it is believed to be a combination of genetic and environmental factors. The immune system attacks the myelin, the protective covering of nerve fibers, causing damage and disrupting the communication between the brain and the rest of the body. MS affects women more than men, and it usually appears between the ages of 20 and 40. The symptoms of MS can vary widely, depending on the location and severity of the damage in the CNS. Common symptoms include fatigue, muscle weakness, numbness or tingling in the limbs, difficulty with coordination and balance, vision problems, and cognitive impairment. There is currently no cure for MS, but there are treatments available that can help manage symptoms and slow the progression of the disease. These treatments include medications, physical therapy, and lifestyle changes. In conclusion, MS is a chronic autoimmune disease that affects the central nervous system, causing inflammation, demyelination, and axonal damage. It is a progressive disease that affects women more than men, and usually appears between the ages of 20 and 40. The symptoms of MS can vary widely, and there is currently no cure, but treatments are available to manage symptoms and slow the progression of the disease. Multiple sclerosis, MS, is a chronic autoimmune disease that affects the central nervous system, CNS. The exact cause of MS is not fully understood, but it is believed to be a combination of genetic and environmental factors. One of the primary causes of MS is thought to be an abnormal immune response. In MS, the immune system mistakenly attacks the myelin sheath, which is a protective covering that surrounds nerve fibers in the CNS. This attack causes inflammation and damage to the myelin, which disrupts the transmission of nerve signals between the brain and the rest of the body. Research has shown that certain genes may increase the risk of developing MS. Studies have identified several genes that are associated with an increased risk of MS, including genes that play a role in the immune system and genes that are involved in the production of myelin. Environmental factors also appear to play a role in the development of MS. Studies have shown that people who live in certain geographic regions, such as Northern Europe, have a higher risk of developing MS. This suggests that environmental factors, such as exposure to viruses or other environmental toxins, may trigger the abnormal immune response that leads to MS. Other risk factors for MS include age, gender, and family history. MS is more common in women than men, and it typically develops between the ages of 20 and 40. People who have a family member with MS are also at an increased risk of developing the disease. In conclusion, while the exact cause of MS is not fully understood, research suggests that a combination of genetic and environmental factors play a role in the development of the disease. Understanding these factors can help researchers develop new treatments and preventative measures for MS. 1. Salmon. Salmon is a great source of omega-3 fatty acids, which have anti-inflammatory properties that can help reduce inflammation in the body. This is important for people with multiple sclerosis, as inflammation can worsen symptoms and lead to disease progression. 2. Blueberries. Blueberries are high in antioxidants, which can help protect the body from damage caused by free radicals. This is important for people with multiple sclerosis, as oxidative stress has been linked to disease progression. 3. Spinach. Spinach is high in vitamin K, which is important for maintaining healthy bones. This is especially important for people with multiple sclerosis, as they may be at increased risk for osteoporosis due to decreased mobility and use of corticosteroids. 4. Walnuts. Walnuts are high in alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, which is a type of omega-3 fatty acid. ALA has been shown to have anti-inflammatory properties, which can help reduce inflammation in the body. 5. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are high in beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A. Vitamin A is important for maintaining a healthy immune system, which is especially important for people with multiple sclerosis, as the disease is believed to be caused by an overactive immune system. 1. Processed foods. Processed foods contain high levels of sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats. These ingredients can trigger inflammation in the body, which can worsen MS symptoms. Instead, opt for whole foods like fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins, which are rich in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds. 2. Dairy products. Dairy products contain a protein called casein, which can trigger an immune response in some people. This immune response can lead to inflammation and worsen MS symptoms. Instead, try plant-based milk alternatives like almond milk or oat milk, which are rich in vitamins and minerals. 3. Gluten. Gluten is a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye. For some people with MS, gluten can trigger an immune response and worsen symptoms. Instead, try gluten-free grains like quinoa or brown rice, which are rich in fiber and essential nutrients. 4. Red meat. Red meat is high in saturated fat, which can trigger inflammation and worsen MS symptoms. Instead, opt for lean proteins like chicken or fish, which are rich in omega-3 fatty acids that can help reduce inflammation. 5. Sugar. Sugar can cause inflammation and worsen MS symptoms. Instead, try natural sweeteners like honey or maple syrup, which are rich in antioxidants and have anti-inflammatory properties. Additionally, try to limit your intake of processed foods and sugary drinks, which can be high in added sugars. Multiple sclerosis, MS, is a chronic autoimmune disease that affects the central nervous system. While there is no known cure for MS, there are steps that can be taken to prevent the onset of the disease or to reduce the severity of its symptoms. Here are some ways to prevent getting multiple sclerosis. 1. Maintain a healthy lifestyle. A healthy diet, regular exercise, and adequate sleep can help boost your immune system and reduce your risk of developing MS. 2. Avoid smoking. Smoking has been linked to an increased risk of developing MS, so it's important to quit smoking if you're a smoker. 3. Get enough vitamin D. studies have shown that low levels of vitamin D may increase the risk of developing MS. Make sure to get enough vitamin D through sunlight exposure or supplements. 4. Manage stress. Stress has been shown to worsen MS symptoms, so it's important to manage stress through relaxation techniques such as meditation or yoga. 5. Avoid exposure to toxins. Exposure to certain toxins, such as solvents and heavy metals, has been linked to an increased risk of developing MS. Avoid exposure to these toxins as much as possible. 6. Consider genetic testing. While there is no single gene that causes MS, there are certain genetic factors that may increase the risk of developing the disease. Consider genetic testing if you have a family history of MS. 7. Stay up to date on vaccinations. Certain viral infections, such as the Epstein-Barr virus, have been linked to an increased risk of developing MS. Stay up to date on vaccinations to reduce your risk of contracting these infections. By following these steps, you can reduce your risk of developing MS and maintain a healthy lifestyle. However, it's important to speak with your healthcare provider if you have any concerns about your risk of developing the disease. Multiple sclerosis, MS, is a chronic autoimmune disease that affects the central nervous system. There is currently no known cure for MS, but there are several ways to manage the symptoms and slow down the progression of the disease. One of the most common treatments for MS is medication. There are several different types of medications that can be used to treat MS, including immunomodulators, corticosteroids, and disease-modifying therapies. These medications work by reducing inflammation in the central nervous system and slowing down the progression of the disease. In addition to medication, there are several lifestyle changes that can help manage the symptoms of MS. Regular exercise can help improve mobility and reduce fatigue, while a healthy diet can help boost the immune system and reduce inflammation. It is also important to get enough rest and manage stress levels, as stress can exacerbate MS symptoms. Physical therapy can also be helpful for managing MS symptoms. A physical therapist can work with patients to develop an exercise program that is tailored to their specific needs and abilities. They can also teach patients techniques for managing spasticity and improving balance and coordination. Alternative therapies, such as acupuncture and massage therapy, may also be helpful for managing MS symptoms. These therapies can help reduce pain and improve overall well-being. Finally, it is important for individuals with MS to work closely with their healthcare providers to develop a comprehensive treatment plan. This may include regular checkups, monitoring of symptoms, and adjustments to medication or other treatments as needed. While there is currently no cure for MS, there are several ways to manage the symptoms and slow down the progression of the disease. By working closely with healthcare providers and making lifestyle changes, individuals with MS can improve their quality of life and maintain their independence for as long as possible. I hope you found this information helpful. Please consider subscribing and setting notifications for future updates.